Hello students, welcome to week 4 for COM 430. We are halfway through our course at the end of this week, and this week we are working on a lot of different things, including our midterm, which relates to the theme of the week, which is the annotated bibliography. The week 4 agenda tells us that we are reading the Creswell text, chapter 3. It discusses the use of theory in communication research, which is a very foundational reading for the week, as well as the Cornaglia text, step 4, which is looking at comparing and synthesizing the information you found within your research on your sources. We're watching 2 videos in addition to this lecture. One is related to the annotated bibliography by addressing some of the key points of it, as well as creating an APA formatted annotated bibliography. We're completing activity number 4, discussion board number 4, which is due on Friday with replies due on Sunday, as well as the midterm, which is an annotated bibliography. You'll see that the midterm does require you to write an annotated bibliography, providing a comprehensive overview of all sources related to your research project. Essentially, the annotated bibliography is sharing key findings from the source as well as relevance to the literature for a research proposal. For this midterm, you are going to create an annotated bibliography that includes at least 10 academic sources and no more than 15 sources. So if you think back to week 3, you created a source list that was comprised of 20 sources. Look back to that assignment and see what feedback you received from me related to that. And if you have at least 10 of those that were approved, then you have your sources right there to utilize for your annotated bibliography. You can also take some of the sources you used for your research activity number 3, which was that annotation worksheet. And if some of those sources were approved from me also, you can just take that information and begin to work on those for your annotated bibliography. So it's safe to say that you should already have within your purview at least 10 sources that should work for what your research topic is. You're completing an annotated bibliography that will provide you with information to turn this into a literature review later on for your critical assignment. The paper should be written in APA format. That includes all citations with a cover page and an abstract. I will get into more explanation on what is expected of an annotated bibliography later on in this lecture after we get through the other assignments. Activity number 4 asks you to review and answer the following questions in a 300 to 400 word essay. You need to spend some time in this activity constructing an APA formatted essay that asks you to address what is synthesizing evidence in communication research and why would we use a direct approach to synthesizing research in your paper. These questions come specifically from the reading. Most of it's in the Cornaglia text, but there is some of it in the Creswell text. So think about that. It's a reflective essay on the reading for this week. Discussion board number 4 asks you to create a word cloud using at least 3 of your annotations and then answer the following questions. I'm going to show you a word cloud sample on the next slide, but do keep in mind that you'll need to look at what words are most frequently used and which ones are the largest. Do you think these are some of the main themes you could use for your literature review? Provide a 200-word reflection on those 2 questions along with the actual word cloud you created. Now remember, a word cloud is where you will copy in 3 of your annotations into the software, and then the ones that are used the most will generate the biggest. And you can see this here. So I did a sample word cloud for you here in this slide. We'll start with graphic number 1, which has it in the upper corner. I just went to wordclouds.com. It's a free word cloud system. It tells you what to do. This is what it looks like when you go to the site. Picture number 2 tells you, I clicked on the wizard tab that you can see in picture number 1. Once I clicked on that, it opened up and I copy and pasted all of the text I wanted to in there. So for you, you'll just copy and paste your annotations in there directly, or you can copy and paste main words you've found in your 3 annotations you want to utilize, and then you'll click apply. Once that applies, you'll see your word cloud come up in the white screen below the menu tabs. So after that, you can work on the word list, you can do a gap size, you can coordinate the font size, the shape, the colors, the theme, the fonts, whatever you would like. What you need to do after that is download the graphic. If you cannot download it, then screenshot it and attach it in your discussion number 4, as well as by addressing the two questions. What words are the most frequent or largest, and do you think that these relate to the main themes you could possibly use for your literature review? So as you work through that, keep that in mind. There are many different word cloud softwares out there. This is one that I've used plenty of times and it's free, so I decided to highlight it to you here. If you have any questions with that assignment, let me know. As we work through our annotated bibliography, it's important to know what exactly this is. This is our midterm assignment. It's worth a significant portion of your grade, and you're going to spend a significant amount of time on it. It's really designed to help you move into your literature review for your critical assignment. Essentially, an annotated bibliography is a summation and evaluation of academic sources. It helps the reader reading through the bibliography to determine the academic merit and quality of a source, as well as if its use is relevant to the research topic. It prepares the researcher to write a research proposal. It provides a platform to organize your literature in a cohesive manner, as well as finding the purpose of those said sources in the research proposal. And annotations for each source are written in a paragraph format. The lengths of the annotations can vary significantly. However, for this particular assignment, they should probably be about a paragraph or two. So as you move through your annotated bibliography, your annotation should accomplish three things. It should summarize, assess, and reflect. So as you summarize, you should summarize the source, talk about the main arguments, the main point, give a good overview of what it was about. After that, you need to assess it. You need to look and determine how useful it is. How does it compare with other sources you have? Is it how reliable it is? Is it biased or objective? And what is the goal of the source? And then the last thing you'll do is you'll reflect. Some people break that down into 3 paragraphs, some break it into 2. It's up to you, but your annotations for each source should be about 2 to 3 paragraphs. Once you've summarized and assessed your source, you need to reflect on how it fits into your research. And it's okay in an annotation to say, after going through this source does not fit. That's okay. Don't think that you have to find another source or whatever it is. You can tell me that this is a learning process, and that's completely okay. The main thing is to look and determine how it fits into your research. Was it helpful to your research? Does it help shape your argument? And what kind of, as a reflective experience, has this provided for you? This is what an annotation looks like in an annotated bibliography. You begin with your APA citation of your source, and then right below it, indented in twice, you have your actual citation and your actual annotation for the source. So you begin with the citation, right below it is the annotation, and that should be about 2 paragraphs or so. Maybe for some of you, if you're wordy, it'll be 3. You're thinking if you go back to the summarize, assess, and reflect, it should be about 2 or 3 sentences for each point. So those are the 3 things you should accomplish, 2 or 3 sentences on each of them, and this is what it should look like. So after you complete one annotation, you'll just enter in, put a new source in APA citation format, and then enter in and do the indents and do another annotation. It'll flow much like a APA paper in that sense. You'll have a cover page and an abstract. Your abstract will include information that pertains to the nature of your sources. So an abstract is usually 150 to 200 words. You'll provide me with a 150 to 200 word explanation of what kind of sources the reader will be reading about when it goes into your annotated bibliography. If you have any questions, let me know. Do know this is a midterm, so it's a summative point in the semester where I'm assessing your learning, which means that it does account for a significant amount of time. This is not something that ideally you could start on Sunday morning and submit by Sunday night. If you have to have a minimum of 10 sources, I recommend to students to do 2 each day, and then you'll be done by Friday. So you do 2 Monday, 2 Tuesday, so on and so forth, till you hit your 10, and then you're done on Friday and you have the weekend to enjoy yourself. You can submit it early. It will take you an extensive amount of time if you do not chunk and set up individual time to do the annotated bibliography over the course of a couple of days. So it is a very time-involved assignment, which you'll see is kind of the nature of what happens with these communication research assignments and part of the rigor within this course. If you have any questions, let me know. We are reading chapter 3 of the Creswell text and step 4 in the Cornalia text. We're watching some videos on what annotated bibliographies are and how to create them in APA format, as well as completing activity number 4, discussion board number 4, and your annotated bibliography, which is your midterm. I look forward to interacting with you this week. I will be going through all of your week 3 assignments soon if I have not already. And if you need to set a time to meet with me, I'm more than willing and have more than enough time in my schedule to make that a part of your week. I pray that you all have a blessed week, and God bless.